Hi guys, ArchieLuxury on the ArchieLuxury channel. Today I'm doing the series How to Become a Millionaire. How to become a millionaire. And today guys, I am wearing a Patek Philippe, a 5035 annual calendar. Okay guys, today we're talking, this is the third video in the series, and it's called You Invest. So what do I mean by this? Well, we've already established a few basics. Last video was spend less than you earn, because you will then develop a surplus. And what do we do with said surplus funds? Now, this is one of the key ingredients to become a millionaire. We need to invest. Now, I gotta tell you, there's a number of things. What's the answer? Well, you gotta be honest there. I've got a lot of investment advice, and I've taken bits from everywhere. So I'll tell you some investment advice that I think is very good. As far as investing goes, you firstly want to get some sort of home, a home for yourself. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a home, it's a house, a townhouse, an apartment, a condo, whatever works for you. It could be your own trailer in a trailer park. It doesn't matter. The first thing you should be investing in is a home. And now, I've said this to Clivers time and time again. I said, Clivers, you're doing well. Things are picking up. And he's in the flyover state of Oklahoma. He doesn't listen to me. And I said, Clivers, man, get a house or a townhouse or an apartment. Own the damn thing. That way there, if the shit hits the proverbial fan, you're going to have a lot more asset than if you have to come up with rent every week. So I myself am in Australia, and house prices have traditionally gone very high in Australia. They've been a fantastic investment. Many Australians have become millionaires through their own home. So I think the first thing about investing is, if you do not already have your own home or apartment or condo, you should be building a deposit to be able to buy your own place. That I think is a very important rule to have there. How to become a millionaire? Well, you gotta try and get your own place. Now, the next question is, well, you'd say, okay, you want to get your own place. Say you've got a house and you've put down 20% deposit. You owe 80. Well, the next question is, do you then pump in more money to pay it off? Or do you invest that extra money from your surplus? Because we've already said you want to spend less than you earn. You put that into another investment, property or another type of investment. And I think the answer is, it depends on your risk profile. If you ideally want to become a millionaire, you've got to take a few punts. Now, there's nothing wrong with paying off your home, whether it's an apartment or a house or a townhouse or a condo, whatever, as soon as possible. There's nothing wrong with that. Alternatively, you could say, well, we've got a place, we've got a mortgage, it'll pay itself off. The interest rates on your own home, generally speaking, are very cheap compared to other forms of finance. So in some ways there, that is the cheapest money you'll ever have access to. So by having a big mortgage, you've effectively can use that left over, instead of paying it down, you could use it to put into other investments. Now the problem is a lot of people, they spend that money on crap, depreciating items. I used to work with a lady who, her and her husband were buying a house. They had 20%. They ended up putting 5% down because the mortgage broker said, we can get you 95% borrowings. And that extra deposit they had, they spent it on furniture, holidays, and cars. Well, that is really dumb. If they put that money into another investment, that may have been acceptable. But reality is, for simpletons and people who don't quite understand this shit, she should have put that money into the fucking house. That's what she should have done, but she didn't. She didn't. It's not sexy to do that. Now, I think realistically, if you're buying a home, it's nice. It's nice to go in there with at least 20% deposit, because in my country, in Australia, if it's less than 20% deposit, you've got to get damn mortgage insurance. This is insurance to protect the bank, not you. They still come after you. You're still liable. So I think the first thing anyone should do on the right path to becoming a millionaire is get your own place. Get your own place. Very important. And I would generally say try and put as big a deposit in as you can. And I would generally say, you know, even if you put in as much as you can feasibly, keep a bit of money as a reserve. But I would say, seriously, your first goal has got to be getting your own place to call home. There's no point. You can do sexy things, put it all into the market, put it into this and that. The first thing is you really should get your own place. Now, the interesting thing is with home ownership, a lot of people, that rich dad, poor dad guy, what does he say? He says you should buy the cheapest house your ego can afford. And that's the problem. A lot of people, in his book there, he says a house isn't really an asset. Well, it is an asset, but he says it doesn't produce income. So it is an asset, but it's an ego sort of asset. And I think he's right. So ideally, you would want to buy, instead of a fancy, wancy, massive house, you'd want to buy as affordable, keep the cost down, would be better than buying big and big and big. Now, obviously, there's always tales to this story. Someone who overstretched, they bought a better house than what they probably should have. Then the market went up, and they've done really well because they possibly could never afford to get into that if they hadn't have had that windfall. So the reality is, get your own home. Then with any surplus, what is the rule? What do I like to say there? It's good to diversify a bit. Generally speaking, you know, what would be ideal would be a home. Say your home is actually a house in the burbs. Very cool. It would be nice to have a second property, an investment property. And what would be nice would say be a inner city apartment would be really nice to have there. That'd be really cool. It'd be cool. After that there, what would be nice would be a nice retirement / share portfolio. In my case there, all my superannuation, which is what us Australians call it, in America the 401k, my superannuation is all in the share market. I've gone for the risky options because I want to get the return. I'm youngish, well, it's 40s, mid 40s, youngish, I suppose it could be. So I think what you'd want to do is, if possible, is get your own place to live in, get an investment place, and build a good retirement allocation. Divide it into 3 or 4 different spheres. Your home, you don't want all your money in the one home asset. If you'd like to have, you're better off, instead of having a really fancy wancy house and no investment property, you're better off to have a middle class house and a middle class apartment instead of a posh house, because the middle class house is a place for you to stay that's reasonable, and once the apartment is paid off, it'll generate income which you can then live on in retirement. So you've got a ego. Ego is a big problem. Many people, they want the ego of having the full, the executive style home. That's what they want. The ego is very important. In my case, I think ideally you want to have your home, that'd be 25% of your wealth. An investment property, that's another 25%. You want 25% in retirement allocation, like you could have that it's in a 401k or superannuation, and another 25%, this is what I call the oddball investing, 25% in other type of assets. In my case, I've invested heavily in my YouTube channel. That's my side hustle business. Well, it's my main, that is my job. That's my business, is the YouTubes. I also I've got investments in luxury wristwatches. These are portable asset class. For me, I'll buy pre-owned watches, luxury watches. This is my area of expertise. Not only buying a watch is investing in my business, but it's also building it's a hedge against currencies. It's an investment which, buying high-end brands, Patek, Rolex, there's a chance these things could go up. They could go up. So that's kind of my investment strategy. My strategy has been to say, hey, let's put some money into my YouTube and some wristwatches. So 25, 25, 25, 25 is a nice diversified spread. Where a lot of people go wrong is they want the big ego. The wife wants a better house. Fuck you, sweetie. The wife doesn't want you to buy watches. Well, honey, this is how to become a millionaire. This is why most people won't be a millionaire. I gotta tell you, this is the honest to God truth. You want to have diversified investments. You want to have a home. 25% of your worth is in a home. 25% in a second property. 25% in a share market-based retirement, superannuation, 401k type of situation. And 25% in your own business, your own side hustle. Buying your collectibles, you've got to turn it into a business. So the investing, you've just got to take it slowly. You want to put some surpluses into things that will increase your wealth. You want to, now I know life is a bitch. You've always got to buy food. You've always got to buy clothing. But instead of buying really fancy-wancy clothing, you're better off to buy fancy-wancy wristwatch, second-hand, which has got no downside, average clothing, average underwear. See, I, as the pontiff, let me tell you, I got 5 Patek Philippe's, a Reverso, and I buy my underwear from Big W. I buy tradie undies. That's what my underwear is called. Tradie undies. Tradie. And I also buy my socks from Big W or Target. I like Rio socks. I buy my shoes when they're on sale. I like to buy flip-flops from Big W, Target, or Kmart. I don't want to spend $100 on a pair of socks. I want to spend $5. I like my tradie undies. Tradie undies. So, you might say, geez, you waste money, Arch. You bought all those watches. Those watches retain my tradie undies, tradesman's undies. I buy them from Big W. Not a brand name. It's not Calvin Klein undies. These are tradie undies. They're called tradie. I get tradie undies. And, you know, that's a better investment. Better investment. That's correct. So, I reckon what would work for most people investing, 25% of your wealth should be in a home, your home, a house, or whatever it is. You want another 25% in an investment property. You want another 25% retirement-based share market type funds there for retirement. And then you want 25% in a business side hustle hobby. There ain't no fucking point in doing hobbies if it doesn't bring in money. See, I could do hobbies like video game playing. No money in that. I like to buy watches. See, I buy watch that I get out when the market changes, and, you know, you hopefully will make money. Hopefully. See, I got to be honest with you. One thing that is a complete waste of money, automobiles. Automobiles. Now, I got a huge love. I love me fancy cars. I love my fancy cars, but I got to be honest with you, that is the biggest wealth hazard. The biggest wealth hazard is fancy-wancy cars, because fancy-wancy cars need fancy-wancy service, fancy-wancy insurance, fancy-wancy tires. I was talking to my old man, his Mercedes-Benz. The tires are about $350. He's got 18-inch wheels. My Honda Civic, I got 4 tires for $600, balanced and aligned. And they were Yokohama premium tires. So they're a really good tire. So the thing is, you've got to be sensible. The other bit of investing advice is the best investment. You got $1,000. You think, what can I do? What can I do? I got $1,000. What could I do with it? The best thing you could do with $1,000, the best thing you could do, absolute best thing you could do, pay off that credit card and consumer debt. Now, don't just pay it off and then spend up on other crap. Pay it off and maybe reduce the limit. I've had a huge credit card addiction. Let me tell you this. I had huge credit card addiction. At the moment, I've got 1 credit card. I've only, in my whole adult life, I've only ever had a period of about a month where I had nothing owed on credit card. I have paid double, and I always find luxury bargains to buy. That's my problem. My eyes are bigger than my wallet. So the credit card is a terrible, terrible, nasty thing. I've lost so much money paying interest on credit cards, but I'm hooked. It's like sugar. I'm hooked, man. I am hooked on sugar. And this is the problem. This is your problem. If you are hooked, it can be very hard to become unhooked. And I gotta be honest with you, it's not easy. Getting off the credit cards is hard. I know other people have always had leases. So there we go. This is some investment advice. How to become a millionaire from ArchieLuxury. I got absolutely no qualifications whatsoever. I got absolutely no badges, diplomas, stars. I mean, you would have to be insane to listen to my advice. But let's see if it works. How to become a millionaire. How to become a millionaire. That's correct. I'm ArchieLuxury on the Paul Pluto channel, ArchieLuxury channel. Tell me what you think. Like, subscribe. Tell your friends who are broke. And put some comments down below. And remember, guys, maybe send me a little bit of money and I'll keep the series going. Keep the series going, and otherwise I'll have to wind up this baby. Wind it up. Okay, guys. See you later. Hi guys, ArchieLuxury, and who do I recommend in America? In America, who do I recommend for quality pre-owned wristwatches? David SW, David SW, David SW. Go to davidsw.com. He is the best, the greatest pre-owned dealer in all of the United States of America. David SW, David SW, David SW. I want to promote KK Design, which is a San Diego-based interior designer who specializes in full-service residential and boutique-style commercial spaces from start to finish. Reach her and check out her work at www.katek.design. Kate K all the way. I want to introduce a new company. This is Fame City Property Solutions. That's correct. They're located in Northeast Ohio. And Fame City Property Solutions replaces non-efficient lights with energy-saving LED lighting. Now, I got to tell you, the guys at Fame City, they will install energy-saving LED lights at office buildings, commercial warehouses, home improvement stores, grocery stores, schools, parking lots, and other residential homes. Now, you can email these guys at famecitypropertysolutions@gmail.com. That's all one word there. famecitypropertysolutions@gmail.com.